Good afternoon, and welcome back to Steady Head. This is episode 3,
Yes.
and today we're going to be talking about anger management. It is definitely a topic that pertains to both me and Heath with our pasts. So it's definitely something we have some experience in, and we'd like to share that with you guys. If you want to go first, just share your experience a little bit.
So, here, let me try to move this so you can see me better. There we go. That's better. Probably back. It definitely was in middle school. Even a little bit before that. I swear everything, like regardless of what it was, would trigger me. Like, if someone touched my food or like touched anything that was mine the wrong way, I'd lose it. I don't know if you were like that or not, but
A little bit. I think my right ear is just gone, but whatever. I've lost all audio in my right ear. It's fine. Oh, maybe. I think it's back. Oh, yeah, it's back. We're good. Anyway, it was about middle school for me. Up into middle school, I should say. I was really bad about lashing out all the time. 3 older brothers didn't help. But I had everything, like just anything and everything would send me over, and I'd just like go into a fit. A lot of crying too, but I think that was just frustration or something.
yes.
I don't know what it was, but no, I would have horrible fits like every day, and it was just bad. And then I don't know when, but at some point I was able to get it under control, and I definitely do have a few like things I've done to help with that, but I guess we can get into that once we get there.
So, kind of like you said, I had a younger brother. This was bad, very bad, because he's the type of person who likes to pick at people. I love him dearly, but everything he did for a while was literally just to nitpick at me and try to like make me mad. So I don't know if you had that experience with any of your younger siblings.
I have a little sister. She was a bit like that, yeah. But I was also like that to her.
Well, that's fair.
So we kind of had a bit of fits against each other. And I think we both have it managed a lot better now. But yeah, no, that was definitely a thing. We both had a few issues that we would cause each other to just flip out, and it would be. It got heated sometimes. Just gonna put it that way. So yeah, love my sister. Wouldn't do that
I
anymore.
love my little brother, but some days.
Some days she got on my nerves.
So today we're kind of be talking about how that kind of also affects your mental health of like when you are angry pretty much all the time, you're just at a slow burn all the time, how that does affect like how you treat others, and like even if you're not mad at them, how sometimes that does affect your relationship with them, and ultimately like our relationship with God in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are really looking for advice on this, well, like we said last time, we're not professionals.
No.
There's no we're not professionals. But sorry, this is like covering up my face. But Proverbs is a really great book. Really great book. I love Proverbs. There's a lot. I think I counted 8 off of a Google search of how many verses in Proverbs talk about anger directly. And I got 8. So Proverbs, you're going to say something?
No, I was just gonna say I know Paul talks about it a lot too. But yeah.
He does. Proverbs 14:29 says, "Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding. He who has a hasty temper exalts folly." We're going to talk about that one for a minute. Actually, do you want to talk about that one for a minute?
I mean, yeah.
And talk about what that means.
Yeah, because hold on, can you read it again real quick, just so I can?
Of course.
Yeah.
Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, that kind of like helps to show. I mean, if you are quick to anger at everything, I mean, something can be said that's there are a lot of people who can't take any sort of criticism. And those people will be quick to anger, and like you'll say, oh, hey, maybe you could do this better. And next thing you know, they're trying to have a fight. They're not going to be able to do better at whatever it was they were doing. And that's a common thing that happens these days. I mean, really any days, where they won't take the criticism and they're quick to anger on it, and they just reject it. Somebody who'd be slow to anger would be, well, maybe hold up, let me hear them out and see if they mean well, and if they do, I might have just learned something, and if they don't, if it's just somebody's words, they're not really going to affect you much anyway.
Yeah.
But that's just one example I can think of that's kind of the idea the verse is getting across of just don't be quick to be angry about things. I mean, a lot of times people don't even mean it in a harsh way. It just comes across that way. And even if they do mean it in a harsh way, it's just their words. They don't really mean anything. And half the time they're just trying to get at you for something completely different. And so if their words have merit to them, then maybe that's a good time to look back and say, you know what? They were just trying to hurt me, but if this is something that I genuinely realize is a problem, maybe it's time to fix that. So once again, that's another, if you're too quick to anger and you just lash out at somebody's words like that, you're not going to find the deeper understanding that can come from listening to them. Even if they are just rage baiting and just looking for a reaction, there still can be some understanding to take from that.
Mm-hmm. And kind of the reason why we're talking about this on this podcast, especially to you men, is I looked up some statistics. This isn't a diss on any of you. This isn't a diss on us. This is just something that happens. This place did this. It's called Emotion Hacks. Did a survey, and it says 60% of men report getting angry at least once per day. 20% of men say 20% say once a day, and then 40% say multiple times a day. Whereas on the contrast, women, it's only 38% of women report getting angry at least once per day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the statistics kind of do show it. We're naturally, me personally, I'm a hothead. Once I get riled up, it takes me a minute, and I also do the mistake of letting it sit for a while,
mm-hmm.
and letting something build and build and build, and then finally something tops it off. They could be so minuscule. Literally, I could let something build and build and build, and then Tate comes in my room at just the wrong time, and I lose it. For no reason on Tate, it's just other things that happen.
That reminds me, there was a day at work couple summers ago where there was a certain couple people I really didn't like working with because they were just not great coworkers at all. But anyway, there was one day where they just were both there, and the frustration of working with them was compounding so badly, and I was just fed up. So then anyway, I was sitting in the work truck with the one coworker who doesn't make me mad, and then she just said one thing that just happened to be just ever so slightly frustrating, and it ended up being then that I started yelling at somebody, and then I immediately realized what happened. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because if you let it compound like I did that day, it blows up in a spot where you didn't want it to. I mean, really, you don't want it to blow up anywhere, but especially in a spot so minor. You gotta find ways to. Yeah, it is, and you gotta find ways to definitely get rid of that.
Mm-hmm. But the longer you let it build, the bigger the bomb, the bigger the blast radius,
mm-hmm.
and the more people who you may not intend to get hit by it get hit by it.
There was a verse I wanted to pull up about this specific thing. It's Ephesians 4:26 and 27. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold.
6:7.
Anyway, so I mean, what this verse is saying is basically, you know, if you have something you're angry about, don't let it fester until like sunset. You deal with it when it happens because, yeah, no, you have moments where you'll blow up because something way earlier happened and you've been festering it for who knows how long. That's why a lot of, like, there really is a statistically higher number of men who commit violent crime. And not to, like, of course, dismiss it or anything because it is bad. But a good reason for that, or a big reason for that, is because men are way worse about letting it fester and just never doing anything about it. And then one day it'll just all come out at once, and then they did something they did not ever intend to do. Once again, not to take blame off of them or anything, but that is a fact. So,
Yeah, and another thing that this place finds is that it also so it's quotes, not getting something I want, unquote, is a major driver of male anger. When I'm treated poorly, 53% of men reporting this making them angry, and 51% of women. When I experience or witness injustice, 43% of men, I guess that's 43% of men and 49% of women. When I can't get something I want, it's 45% of men and 33% of women. Honestly, I can't tell you how many times I've been in line for something, they've run out, and I'm furious because I wanted it so bad, and I waited in line for so long.
SDR mac and cheese.
SDR mac and cheese. SDR chicken tenders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on. But, like, that's also another driver, is, like, not getting what we've either waited on or even, like, something not turning out the way it was proposed that it should have been is also something else. Was that Caleb?
I don't know.
Yes. Anyway. So I saw him in the background. But yeah, that's another thing too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I know one of my ways to kind of mitigate the anger, to go back to like the, you know, when people are saying things, because that was like my big trigger, was somebody would insult me or whatever, and I'd take it so personally, and it would just like, it would sit there and fester for forever. So like one way I've learned to just kind of deal with that in a much healthier way is, if they say it, I just take it as a joke. Doesn't matter if they were joking or whatnot. I just take it as a joke, and then it becomes funny. So like, it's gotten to the point where it's almost impossible, not to say it's impossible to offend me, but I've gotten a lot better at not being offended at things like that, to the point where if somebody does intend to offend me, I'll just end up laughing because I'm like, oh, that was actually a really good one. And so it's helped a lot, because that was my weak point when it came to anger, was people's words. Mm-hmm. And so that would be, if you struggle with, you know, handling insults and handling like people, just because people are going to be stupid sometimes. People are going to say stupid things. And people are going to say things that will offend you. So the point is to not avoid them saying the stupid things, because they're going to say it. It's going to happen.
No matter who you're around, someone's going to say something stupid. They're
going to say something stupid, or they're going to say something rude. It's a fact of life. Half the time, they don't even mean it. And so that's what you got to remember. They don't mean it. Even if they do mean it, you just, in your mind, you act as if they didn't mean it. And let me tell you, the world gets a lot better. Like, it gets a lot easier to handle, like, when people say those things. It gets a lot easier to handle your anger. And it just gets, like, your outlook on people as a whole gets better when you just assume they didn't mean it. Now, if they keep doing it over and over, there is a point where you can just, you know, cut them off, because if the only thing they bring into your life is negativity, you don't need to be around them. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing you gotta learn, because sometimes you have that one friend who you think is a good friend, but then if you look back, all they ever do is just bring negativity. You don't need them. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, but then I wouldn't have any friends. I'm like, well, you don't have any friends now. You just have an enemy. You don't need the enemy.
They're not really trying to help you. They're just
bringing
you down with them. kind of similar to what Tate was saying. Something my mom always said was, let it roll off your back like a duck. Especially when my little brother or even my dad was saying things that like would make me mad. It was always like, just let it roll off, because in reality, it doesn't really matter. But yeah.
I know that's my strategy to deal with it. So
That's usually mine too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
yeah, you just hit them with the, okay, that was actually pretty funny. Anyway, because that's the thing. A lot of people are looking for a reaction.
Yes.
And so if you give them a reaction, they're going to keep going.
Hence the new rage baiting trend
Yes.
of like, how mad can I make somebody?
I mean, that's what my mom used to tell me. It was like, anytime my siblings were getting on my nerves, she's just like, they just want you to get angry. And what did you do? You got angry. You gave them what they wanted, which of course I hated hearing that. But she was right. That was what my siblings wanted. That was what most people wanted. And so, yeah, no, if you don't give them the reaction, in fact, if you give them the opposite of what they were wanting, because, like, you know, they want the reaction. They don't want you to laugh it off.
Yeah.
If you laugh it off, that's not fun. And so, yeah. And sometimes, if I know somebody's going to hit me with an insult, I hit myself with it first, because then there's no ammo left for them. If they realize I don't care, and in fact, I'll say it about myself, they're not going to try and hit me with anything because they know I'm not going to care.
Yeah. So another verse in Proverbs. I'm going to reference Proverbs a lot, most likely. But Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So this is kind of like, you might not be the one who's angry. You may be talking to someone who is, or kind of on the same topic of actually like our words. We could do a whole episode on how words make you.
Oh, we absolutely
How
could.
words. Let's write that down. Like, as I'm thinking about it, write that down.
Okay.
Because or else we'll
I'll
forget.
text it to you.
Okay. So like what that verse is kind of talking about is like, let me look at the verse itself again. So when you're talking to people, it's better to answer in, oh, I just got it.
Well, yeah, because I just texted it to you.
Yeah. It's kind of talking about how like a soft answer. So like when you're not provoking, you're not trying to get a rise out of them, it tends to make them less mad, or tends to help avoid anger. Whereas if you're using harsh, like very like offensive, or like you're picking at them, it's definitely gonna make them more angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, because like we were just talking about, like, you know, when people are saying things, but like in any circumstance where it's another person you might be angry at, really just once again you just find the best way you could spin it and spin it that way.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's true. Just matters how like it helps your reaction. Because, like, say we've been waiting in line for a really long time
For
And
mac
then-
and cheese.
for mac and cheese, and then there's no mac and cheese left. Let's be honest, it's not the workers' fault. It's nobody's fault. That's just how it happened. They just didn't have enough. And so if you look at it like that, then you're just angry at mac and cheese, I guess. And at that point, it's just
Literally,
stupid.
you're angry at mac and cheese.
And at that point, it's just stupid. And usually, you'll just realize how stupid it is, and you'll just kind of move on.
Yeah.
Or say somebody's just being really, really slow. Like say you're at like a coffee shop, and it's taking forever to get whatever you're trying to get.
Or a drive-through.
Yeah, or at a drive-through, and it's just taking forever. One thing you can remember: they could be swamped. It could be a hard day for them, or they could be new. You never know what's going on back there. So if you don't know what's going on, then let's be honest, you can just say, well, they're probably just having a hard day, and it's not that big a deal, because most of the time, even if you're rushing to get somewhere, there are very, very few moments where that 5 minutes makes that much of a difference.
That doesn't mean speed
No,
to
don't.
make up that time. That just because I know some people will take it that way of,
Mhm.
oh, I can just make that 5 minutes up.
Yeah, well, sometimes you'll make that 5 minutes up, but sometimes you'll be in a ditch
Or pulled over.
or pulled over. And either way, that's not a good circumstance.
Either way, you're gonna be later.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what my bosses always say. We're back home. Whenever somebody's like obviously speeding to get to work, we'll get there and they're like, "We'd rather you're late than you show up than you like never show up. So just drive the speed limit and deal with being late."
yeah. Let's see. That.
Hmm?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
You go ahead.
But yeah.
I
Anyway.
feel like I've yapped a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I guess that's just kind of what I'm trying to say is basically, it's a lot of it is about your mentality. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm just angry because a lot of bad things happen to me." I'm like, yeah, a lot of bad things happen to everybody. That's a fact of life. No matter how easy your life is, there's going to be things that are going to inconvenience you. And the question is, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to handle it by being angry all the time and just like always shaking your fist at the world? Or are you going to say, you know what? Sometimes life is hard, but I'm just going to focus on what's good, and I'm going to continue with my life as if this wasn't that bad. And let me tell you, that second option is a lot better, because I guess something we haven't gotten into yet is the way that constant anger affects your mental health. It's not good.
I was actually just looking up the statistics for that.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, when you're angry all the time, you are not a happy person.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And so, that's it negatively affects you. I mean,
But also, being angry all the time can also. There we go. Being angry all the time, based on a study. This is actually a study done by the Mental Health Foundation. Fancy. They're way smarter than us. I can guarantee that. But they say that being always angry can indicate underlying mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, or bipolar disorder.
not great things to have.
None of those are great. I mean,
No.
if you look at depression, we've kind of talked about it already. Anyway, I totally hijacked what you were saying. Continue.
I mean, not really, because that was kind of the point I was getting to. Was
well, continue.
I know that research was saying that it stems from those issues, but I would argue that they can also bring those issues.
I would agree.
Because that's the thing. Not everything's just purely cause and effect. Some causes can be caused by the thing that they.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't.
It
I don't
goes
know where
both
I'm going with
ways.
that. But yeah, it can go both ways. I mean, like the always being angry. Let's be honest. There's some influencers out there who like their whole thing is just being angry at stuff. How happy do they normally look in their videos? How mentally sound do they normally seem? Let me tell
How
you.
happy do we look in our videos? Drop that in the comments.
Yeah, actually.
How happy
I'd
do
like to
we
know.
look in our videos?
I'd like to know.
Because like I feel like we look great.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for this. Like, but that's on our end, not yours. So
But
let us know.
I feel like part of that is we've both gotten our anger under control
And
for the most part.
yes,
Obviously, there's still some times where
Yeah.
it shines through.
some physical consequences
Mhm.
of being angry all the time. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. Increase in cortisol and adrenaline. This contributes to high blood pressure, weakened immunity, heart disease, and a stroke.
Not good things once again.
No, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know the statistic. Of high blood pressure in
It's probably higher than
50.8% of men in the U.S. have high blood pressure, whereas women only have a 44.6%.
It's actually a pretty big difference looking at, because that's not a small
Population.
like sample size. That's the U.S.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Roughly one in two men have high blood pressure. rising to 71% in men age 60 plus.
Dang.
Hot dang.
I guess the grumpy old man stereotype is true.
Well, scientifically, yes. Evidently, due to science, it is. Anyway, continue.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
I
no,
just felt like adding the physical would
Yeah.
also give us some.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's points where you would be right to be angry. We're not saying you should never be angry, because there there are some times when it makes sense. But once again, the question is how you handle it. Do you let it fester? Do you live with anger for your whole life, or do you say, hey, in this moment this anger's right, but let's not dwell on it? Because dwelling on anger your whole life, like Heath was saying, it can bring these, it can bring like depression and whatnot. It can bring high blood pressure. It can even bring eventual like early death. I mean, because these are some issues that do shorten your lifespan.
I mean, let's just look at a
I mean, especially a stroke. Yeah, a stroke definitely shortens your lifespan. But yeah,
stroke statistics.
But yeah, while he's looking that up, yeah, it's just obviously if you look at the health and mental health issues that come with constant anger, it is an issue that definitely needs to be resolved. Mm-hmm. Like if you find yourself constantly angry, you should definitely figure out what to do about that.
Okay. 52% of all stroke deaths occur in men.
It's actually pretty 50-50 almost.
Yeah. 1 in 6 men will suffer a stroke by 75.
That's
a
lot of men.
That's a lot of dudes if you're looking at the U.S.
Yeah.
Roughly 1 in 8 strokes cause death within 30 days, rising to 25% within the first year, with higher mortality rates risks for men after hemorrhaging. I can't say that word. I'm not going to try to say
Hemorrhaging?
No, it's hemorrhagic.
Hold on. Yeah, let me see if I can pronounce it. I'm better with words.
He's better with words. I'm dyslexic a little bit.
Let me find the word.
It's bottom. It's like the second to last word.
What? Ah.
Yeah.
Hemorrhagic?
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know.
I'm not going to try to say it because I'm not a professional. But the professionals out there who listen to this, that kind of stroke, that kind of crap, that kind of stroke leads to death.
Yes.
So.
But you know, it's an issue that can lead to early death. It's an issue that can lead to just, even if you don't, even if your lifespan doesn't shorten, it's still an issue that leads to just a generally worse life. So yeah, no, it's something that as a man, as a person, if you notice that you are constantly angry, that you have trouble with dealing with anger, you should definitely do something about it. Whether that's just find ways to cope with it, or I would argue go to counseling at least.
Seek pastoral
1 or 2
advice.
sessions. Yeah, pastoral advice. That is a good one to go to. Because that's, once again, as we mentioned in our first episode, that is what pastors are there for. They're not just a preacher. They're there to help you. They're not going to be like a full-blown counselor, but most pastors have taken counseling courses.
Most of them.
Most. Not to say it's 100% success rate, because nothing is, but yeah.
So another study says there are 3 R's of anger. Do you know these?
No.
The 3 R's of anger management are recognize, reflect, or respond, / redirect or reduce. All of those are pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I mean,
journaling. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Journaling is lovely. Lovely. Like, rather than blowing up at somebody, write it down. Because then it gives your brain, as you're writing it out, your brain is...
Huh.
Oh, sorry.
My mic is really picking up my breathing a lot.
Oh, here, I can just turn it down.
Okay.
But like writing things down helps your brain process what's going through it without allowing, with helping reduce the added adrenaline. Because when you're mad, your adrenaline spikes, and then you don't think nearly as rashly. It's scientific. It's not just me saying it. It is a scientific fact. And a lot of times you don't think with, like, is it your prefrontal cortex? You don't, when you're mad, you don't think with a certain part of your brain because it just floods with adrenaline. So then writing it down, and rather than blowing up on somebody, if you write it down, it helps to, helps your brain process what you're thinking before you end up blowing up, and it helps you use that part of your brain without the adrenaline. If that makes sense.
I've found, so I don't really do journaling, but I have found here and there. Now, it's not normally something I do specifically for anger, but just really anything you're going through mentally. One good thing you can do is poetry. Poetry is a great way to express yourself. And it's not necessarily journaling, but it is writing down, what's going on. It's writing down in more of a artistic way, expressing yourself. And, it's a great way to handle it. You come out of it and you're like, I was able to express myself without having to, go punch something or whatever. Because that's the thing. Poetry is a tool that people have used for years, thousands of years, to express themselves in a way that they don't need to do it physically.
Mm-hmm.
You could just look at the Psalms. They're, once again, a great example. Lamentations, I believe, is also poetry. Job. There's all sorts of books of the Bible that are just poetry. Song of Solomon, although that's not really what we're talking about right now, but it is poetry of Solomon expressing himself over, like I said, poetry, writing it down. It's a great way to express yourself without having to, especially if you're angry, without having to physically do something. But, yeah.
Yes, I agree. I'm sorry. Let me look up some. I'm gonna look up something else.
Mm-hmm. Let me look something up too.
Give us a minute. Sorry, this is really bad. I feel so bad. Suppressed anger. So anger you keep and keep and keep can lead to. Let me read what it says so I don't mess it up. Passive aggressive behavior and depressive symptoms. So, passive aggressive behavior, where you're saying something or doing something, not directly at somebody, but kind of around them, not like to kind of make it. What did you say?
I was just answering you.
Okay. What do you think about that? Being how internalized and anger like that can turn into passive aggressiveness, and
yeah, it can. I know. Once again, even after I handled my, outbursts when I was younger, there was a lot of passive aggressiveness still.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had halfway managed it. I had gotten it to a point where I didn't lash out anymore. Now I just kind of thought I was being slick, but let's be honest.
You weren't slick.
I wasn't slick.
But that's okay.
Yeah. And now, I still remember there was one thing I was doing, a little skit at a camp with a bunch of people, and I was organizing it. And I had a vision I wanted to get that just nobody was able to work with me on.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of realizing maybe my vision was not quite right, instead when somebody was like, hey, let's do it this way, I was just like, maybe I don't want you in my project. I didn't lash out or anything, but I definitely showed my frustration in not the most passive, but very passive-aggressive way. And let me tell you, that project never happened.
Which project is this?
It was something in, I was 14 or 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was nothing you've been in.
Well, I'd hope not.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry, this is going to be probably a shorter episode, just because we do have a Brosis event this afternoon.
That's currently ongoing.
That's actually going right about now. But we did want to get an episode out for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to be shorter, not super short,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying
to think because
Yeah.
like I feel like we've covered everything,
I'm sure there's something else.
but there's something we are missing.
Because we talked
Oh,
about.
let's talk about being hangry, because that is a very common thing in men. If my
common
blood
thing,
sugar's
everyone.
too low, I am mad. So does Tate.
Yeah,
He's just very passive aggressive when he's
I
hungry.
am. Dude, like yesterday, my roommate wouldn't let me leave my room because we were goofing around. But I was getting really hungry because I hadn't eaten breakfast or lunch, and I was trying to get to dinner, and him just messing with me, because he kept like trying to kick at my shins. Just 'cause that's just what we do. It wasn't.
It's kind of goofy.
It's just what we do. It's not like he was being extra rude or anything. We were just that's how we goof around. But at that moment, I was absolutely not having it. So I went to kick at his shin, and I completely missed, and I whacked my own shin against his kneecap.
Oh,
And there was a massive bump on it for a few hours. And so I really immediately regretted that kick.
you see what happens when you act in anger.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
doesn't turn out well.
Yeah. He was just laughing because it didn't
Yeah.
hurt him.
Yeah, it's his kneecap.
Yeah.
But no, like it. When you do react in anger, a lot of the
Mhm.
times you make a dumb decision,
Oh, yeah.
like trying to kick him back. You should have just done what you did with your phone the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the first day we were doing that, I want to tell this story. It was so funny.
Okay.
First day
Quick
we were
story.
doing it, it was funny because he was talking about like shin conditioning, which if any of you know what that is, it's not fun. But anyway, he decided he was going to start doing it by kicking my shins with his shins, which was kind of funny. But then by the end of the day, like both of our shins were in so much pain we couldn't even kick each other anymore. So then I took my phone. I'm like, oh, dude, your shins are messed up. Let me take a picture. So he held out his shin for me to take a picture. And I took my phone. Hold up. I went like this with it. And then I immediately turned it like this and just swiped it down his shin. It was funny. But he yelled.
And I was in my room. In my room at this point. They were in the hallway.
No, we were in my room
Okay, well, regardless,
all the way across the hall.
all the way on the far end of the building, I heard a scream. Like, when Tate said he yelled, there was a little bit more than just a yell. Like, that was ridiculous.
Dude, it was bad. Like I remember sending my friend back home a picture of it.
Oh,
And he was
it
like,
was bad.
dude, what did you guys do? I'm like,
It was bad.
oh, we were just goofing around.
Mhm.
My shin had a big old scab on it for days after that, though, because, yeah, I may have done that to him, but he did. Like we were beating each other's shins all day.
Yeah.
It was funny.
But no, like, kind of not to close, but just when dealing with anger, especially prolonged anger, it's very good to address it, like make it known, tell somebody. Like, if I'm mad at Tate, a lot of times I'm just saying, yo, I'm mad at you, bro. Just leave me alone. Or I'll try to like, you want to talk about it. You want to like talk about it in a calm. Now, if say I went to Tate and I said, yo, I'm mad at you about something, and he goes, and he like just kept rage baiting me, of course, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to keep my calm. But we're called to be slow to anger. So regardless of how he responds to me going, like, we're also supposed to go to a brother in Christ and talk about it, what, like, if we have anything against each other. So definitely like talk about it, but then also don't let it build. I think that's also something we definitely like emphasized, was don't let it build any, like, try to get it done with in the same day.
So me personally, I found one of my new phrases I use here and there is I'm not having it right now, because
He uses it all the time.
it's because the way I mess around with people, like especially me and my roommate, it looks like we're just bullying each other, but we're just having a good time. However, there are some days I don't want to do that. There are some days I'm not feeling it. So if I just tell him, hey man, I'm not having it right now, he knows this is not the time because I genuinely am going to get mad if we do that. And so, yeah, just having, like, you know, a lot of people do have those things where it's like, oops, my bad.
As Tate's fidgeting.
I've been fidgeting this entire episode. That's why I look down a lot right now. But yeah, no. So like a lot of friendships do have these things where people are like, I'm pretty sure you're just bullying each other. But like, I mean, it's just bonding. But there are times when you don't want to do that. So it's good to like be able to distinguish with each other when you're just goofing around and when you should stop. Because that is a important thing in helping not to be angry, is to know when, like, it's not a good time to mess around with somebody.
Yeah, just like being like, hey, I'm not in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
But make it clear.
Yeah.
Like, don't say, I mean, I'm kind of not in the mood. Like, if you're not, just say no.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not doing it today. And a lot of times, they'll leave you be.
And hey, if you have a friend that just never respects that, once again, they're not a good friend, and you probably shouldn't be with them. Why are you looking at me like that, Heath?
Nothing. I just bother you a lot, regardless.
That's fair.
I'll
But
walk in his room when he's laying in bed, and I'm like, brother, get up. And he goes, I'm not feeling it today. And I say, I don't care. Get out of bed. And he still doesn't get out of bed.
So there's a difference between that and what I'm trying to say.
I know.
Yeah. But when somebody just doesn't respect you're saying, no, I don't want to, like, mess around right now. No, I just want to, like, be serious at this moment. If they never respect that, then they're probably not a good friend, and you should probably find somebody else to hang out with. Because that is a huge thing about friendships, and a very important thing is respect.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have a friend that does not respect your requests to, like, treat them with respect, then they're probably not a good friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's about all I have left
Yeah.
to say.
I was kind of it.
It's gonna be a bit of a shorter episode.
It's gonna be like 15 minutes shorter than what's ish. 15-ish minutes shorter than normal. That's okay.
Should we let them know why we're wearing suits?
So the reason we're wearing suits, and then we'll pray.
Yeah.
Is so we made the comment because originally we weren't gonna go to this event because of podcasting and editing. I'm trying to get this released tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning.
I'm gonna schedule a release on this one, but yeah.
I probably will just either try to.
We'll
see.
get it released as soon as possible.
It'll be released ASAP.
It'll be released
tomorrow at some point.
Technically on Monday. So yeah, tomorrow.
Sorry, hiccup. But we edited, or I edited, I edited it.
You got this.
I
believe in
edited
you, Heath.
the other podcast we're doing called Off Topic. If you want to laugh, shout out Off Topic. It's a blast. We did a tier list on a couple things on the last episode.
I should link that one in the description of this.
But we finished editing that one last night. Actually, this morning at like
2 a.m, I think.
It was like 1:30.
Was it?
It was early. But so that gave us time to get this one done. We'll edit this one later once we get back from our event. But we're going to be fashionably late. So, you know, us being very literal, we are fashionably late. It's funny.
I'm not
a lot of
playing
people are
kickball
gonna
in this.
laugh. We're going to miss the games anyway.
Fair.
Who cares?
We might even miss a bit of the meal. We'll see.
Honestly, that's not that bad either.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be probably burgers and hot dogs. And
Oh,
low
it's
key,
definitely going to be.
I don't know. Anyway, do you want to pray?
Yeah, I
Press
can
out.
pray. All right. We don't have hats to take off this time.
No. Hey, no hats. We might try this more often.
I know.
Depends on if we shower beforehand.
Yeah, that's the thing. My hair gets a little greasy, and I like to hide that.
Anyway.
All right. Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to get together and just talk about mental health and relate that back to you. Lord, I just pray that those who are viewing and or listening would just be able to take away whatever it is you want them to take from this, that they'd be able to just gain from this experience of listening to us and watching. I just pray that you just help us to continue to make good episodes, and that you would help me and Heath to be able to get this edited and out on time. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen.
All right.
Anyway, you'll have a great week.
Yes, you do.
If we don't, because we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Next week, on Thursday, we're recording an episode with my boss about mental health in the workplace.
That was going to be this episode.
That was going to be this episode, but scheduling did not work.
Complications. We were not
So.
supposed to film on a Sunday.
No. So, that'll be next week.
Yep.
Anyway,
We will see you next week.
peace out.